Hi, I'm Jeff Blanchard. I'm Director of Product Design at a digital agency in Chicago called Highland. And I work with inspired clients to research, design, and build compelling products for their customers.
Hi, my name is Cecilia Morales, and I am a UX architect at a company called Acumen Solutions. I'm also a strategist and the ambassador of design thinking there, so I am trying to systemize design thinking and get everybody in the company to drink the design thinking Kool-Aid and hopefully get this across the whole organization.
My career started when I was a kid. I was really interested in computer-generated design. I'm actually colorblind, so I've always relied on color models to understand the relationships of color. And so my penmanship and my freehand is awful, so I really appreciate the computers could help me express myself in meaningful ways. And over the years, I've moved from media to advertising to interactive, and now I'm really focused on building digital products and digital strategies.
My career path started a long time ago. I am a bicultural from Mexico, and I started drawing when I was 1. I started to sell promotional products when I was 13, and I think I had my first job as an illustrator when I was 17. So I started doing visual things for others very early, but also kind of mid-career when I had my own business that was focused on inspiring nonprofits and businesses. I found myself doing a lot of things that were very design thinky. So when I discovered it was an actual framework, I became a big believer, and since then have been both a student and an educator in it.
Our topic is the art and science of product design, so identifying, imagining, and then figuring out how to create the most compelling products we can for customers to fit the product with their needs. And what we want to do is look at a pretty wide slice of the product design process, from understanding what problem space we're trying to solve for, identifying customer needs and how to research those, digging into different prototypes and different ways to express possible product concepts and get their feedback, and lastly, honing in on an MVP and a way to express that MVP in a compelling argument to stakeholders in the form of a design brief that could help move a project forward and into delivery. So one thing I didn't mention earlier is I've actually cut my teeth a lot in the product design world through working with several startups. So I've had a lot of failures and some successes. And along the way, I've learned it's really important to spend time understanding what it is we're actually trying to build and who we're trying to build it for. So we don't waste time building the wrong thing and investing time and money in something that's not going to work. But really focusing on, again, the needs we're trying to satisfy for someone and validating with them that they want the thing that we're designing for them. So I want to help just share that experience and help people form that product mindset.
This topic is important to me because I feel we're at a point in time where designers need to really hone in on designing meaningful and valuable products that are not disposable, that are going to stand the test of times. We're kind of in that time and day and age where being wasteful is kind of not really an option we should be working with anymore.
I'd also like mentees to walk away from this having had the experience working on a cross-functional team. So getting to work with people from all different backgrounds, whether they are illustrators or copywriters or even photographers, people with different experiences and different ways to contribute. I think it's important for people to have that time to spend together and look at how a product can take form, especially in prototyping, but throughout the process. There's a lot we can learn from each other, and so it's great to have that time to work on a common problem.
So something that I think kind of just dovetails really well into what Jeff wants to get across in our sessions is to, in that project and in that process and that journey of working with these teams and figuring these things out, you know, designers have learned, and many people from different walks of life and product have learned a lot of different tools. And sometimes the hardest thing, once the rubber hits the road and you're out in the real world, is discerning which is the best tool to use for your given task in that specific moment, given stakeholders, personalities, whatever it is that you're dealing with. So to me, what's important that they walk out with is that critical thinking, that kind of security in themselves, knowing that they are going to feel very confident about which tool to pick for each challenge. So my favorite food, what is my favorite food? That's asking that to a Mexican is like asking, I don't know, a fish what kind of water it likes. So I don't know, that's a hard question. But I'll tell you a story about chocolate in my life. When my mom was young, she was never a big sweets person. She never was a big chocolate person. But when I was in her belly, she would find herself waking up in, cold sweats in the middle of the night, dreaming of rooms filled with chocolate cake. And then I was born, and I basically had that curse on me since before I was born. So chocolate is probably my biggest weakness, and the one thing that, like, if you have it in my house when I'm on a diet, I'm just like, well. But that's probably my favorite thing.
Yeah, I've been riding motorcycles for 20 years or so, and I try to make at least one big trip a year. A few years ago, I rode out to Nevada for a couple of weeks, and I spent some time out in the mountains just camping by myself. At one point, I was 100 miles away from the nearest gas station and just pretty isolated, and it was just really great to get outside of the city, outside of technology, and just spend some time in quiet.